if I can show you a very simple app that you can put on your phone to determine if your eyes may be causing your dysautonomia, your brain fog, your brain fatigue, your dizziness, your anxiety, your panic attacks, constipation, diarrhea. That's what you want to stick around for, because there actually is a very simple app that you can use, put on your phone, and check to see if your eyes may be contributing to your neuroinflammation and your dysautonomia. So stick around here and let's go through this. So what we want to try and do is this app is called Brain Toolkit. Brain Toolkit is the app that you're going to want to download in your phone. In a little bit, I'll show you exactly what you have to do. It's a $15 app and can actually change your perception of what's actually happening with you. So what we want to do is when we open this app up from the Brain Toolkit, we're going to be looking at this thing right here, which is this green ring. And what this test is called, it's called the Troxler Effect. So what the heck is the Troxler Effect? So what this is you're going to be looking at basically something similar just like this on your iPhone. And you're going to be looking at this red dot right in here. Now, what happens is when you look at this red dot, if your eyes don't move, if your eyes are not moving very microscopically, you're going to look at this red dot and the green periphery will disappear. This is normal, healthy, visual optical perception. Now, if you have an eye involvement with your dysautonomia, your anxiety, your panic attacks, what's going to happen is that green layer, the periphery, is not going to disappear. It's going to stay there. And that indicates that this is coming from something to do with your eyes, your vestibular system, your cerebellum, some neurological component that has to do with your brain. Now, why is that? Now, when you look at this dot, normally this green, I should say this green ring, normally this green ring in normal, healthy humans should disappear in less than 10 seconds. So in mine, it disappears in 10 seconds. If you're over 20 seconds and it's still there, or 30 seconds and it's still there, this is an indication of your eyes not functioning well. So this is a screening tool. It doesn't tell you what's the matter or where the problem is at. It tells you that some involvement of your eyes is involved with your condition, your neurological condition, and this is a very simple test. So your brain filters out what doesn't change. Vision isn't like a camera. Your brain decides what matters. Here's the critical thing. Your brain decides what matters. So let me read this definition of what the Troxler test is actually doing. Okay, so to understand the Troxler test is doing, what the Troxler test is doing, it helps to know the fundamental truth of your brain. The fundamental truth of your brain. Your nervous system is designed to completely ignore anything that isn't changing. So why is that? Because if it's not changing, it's not a threat. This is the key thing. 2,000, 3,000 years ago, if we saw something in our periphery change, we got scared because that thing could potentially kill us. So if your nervous system is designed to completely ignore things that aren't changing. Your brain is a change detector. So your brain is detecting changes constantly, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It actively filters out constant, unchanging background data so it can focus its energy on detecting new things. Detecting new things like a sudden movement, a change of sound, or a potential threat. So this is the key thing. Your eyes, if it's going to focus, it's going to eliminate or not put any emphasis on things that are not moving. If things are moving, your nervous system is going to be in a heightened alert. That's the crux of the whole thing. The Troxler test uses a clever visual measurement how effectively your brain handles this filtering process. Okay, so when we open this app, I'm going to show you a little video here in a second. What should happen here? You see the 10 to 20 seconds? You're going to open this app. You're going to focus on this dot right here. Now, if your eyes are stable, this green area is going to disappear. Now, why would that green area disappear? Because it's stable. It's not moving. If it's not moving, your brain's going to ignore it because we know that's not a threat. Like if we're out here in the periphery and we see something outside, it could be a tiger or a lion, whatever, that's a threat. Your nervous system is going to be at heightened alert, right? So just imagine your immune system, or not your immune system, your eyeballs in your brain being at heightened alert. You're going to be in a dysautonomia state, dysregular heartbeat, anxiety, panic attacks. You go out driving, you get a panic attacks. You go in the grocery store, you get panic attacks. This is a heightened alert, and we can contribute this as a portion to possibly your eyes that aren't functioning and they're not fovulizing. What that's a fancy word is staying on this dot right in here. Okay, so let me pull up this video here. So you're going to go to the App Store and you're going to download this right here. Download the Brain Toolkit. Okay, so we're going to go to the Brain Toolkit right here. I'm going to play this video. So why in the Troxler test does the green circle stay? Because you have neuroinflammation, your eyes are jerking, your eyes are drifting off, or you have brain inflammation. All these things are classic signs on why that green circle is not moving. Now in here, I want to go over a couple crazy statistics, and this is going to tell you how much neurological emphasis God, when God designed us, put that in our eyes, all right? So in here, 50% of your brain is involved with vision. So 50% of your total brain capacity. Now, when we talk about the brain, there's lots of things that make up your brain. Your whole cortex, your brain, your midbrain, your spinal cord, your medulla, all these things are part of the brain. So 50% of the whole entire brain is involved with vision. So that's highly, highly neurological. And if you cannot focus on that red dot, you're getting a huge amount of input going into your brain. Now, when we just talk about the cortex, cortical, okay, so let me just define that. There's a whole brain that includes all the deep center, autonomic, midbrain, cerebellum, pons, medulla. Okay, then we're just going to talk about the cortex on this side. So the cortex is basically just the outside of the brain. So the cortex is just basically like this part in here. So 30% of your cortex is used for vision, okay? Now you can see right back here is actually the vision in your brain is actually in the back of the head, is in your occiput. Now let's look at these other statistics. So 30% of your cortex is used for vision, 8% for touch, and 3% for hearing. So you can see that the eyes are a massive amount of neurological impact going in your brain. So if your eyes are not functioning properly, now why would your eyes not function? Because you've had concussions. Maybe you've had your bell rung. Maybe you've played a lot of sports. Maybe you got in a motor vehicle accident. Maybe you slipped on ice. Maybe you have leaky gut. Maybe you have leaky brain. Maybe you have constipation. Maybe you have diarrhea, causing chronic inflammation. Maybe you don't have enough omega-3 fish oils. Maybe you don't have enough phosphatidylcholine. Maybe you have mold. Maybe you have heavy metals. Maybe you have environmental pollutants. You can see the list goes on and on and on and on. So what this is about here today is not like, let's resolve the problem. It's, is this a problem? Do the test, download it, and if that doesn't go away in 10 seconds, that's telling you there's some involvement with your eyes that's probably contributing to your neurological condition that no one can ever find a reason or rhyme for. And you got to do a functional neurological program that includes a variety of different things. Okay, more statistics just on the eyes, and this is pretty crazy right in here. Is there's 2.4 million active connections, 1.2 million per eye, 1.2 million per eye. So this is where all these nerves, they cross here, they cross here, basically a combination of 2.4 million active connections, which means that each second there's billions and billions of data points that are going into your brain. Now remember, the last statistics is 50% of your total brain is dealing with your vision. So if your eyes cannot fovealize on that red dot and your eyes are moving around and your periphery, it sees the green circle all the time, firing massive amounts of information into your system, deep into your midbrain, which has to do with anxiety, dysautonomia, racing heart, even blood sugar problems, blood pressure problems can all be caused because deep in your brain is getting too much stimulation from your eyes. Your eyes are a major component of basically healthy function. Now, here's some other crazy statistics. There's 126 light sensors in your eyes. So what we call here, like what are rods? Like rods are, they detect motion and then they detect vision in the side. So there's 120 million of them. And then there's what we call cones. And cones, they deal with color and sharp detail. And you can see this is a great graphic right in here. So this is the optic nerve that comes right down in here and goes down here. So all this information is coming in here, going in the optic nerve. So there's tons of information that your eyes are bringing to your brain, and you have to make sure that the eyes are functioning normally. Now here's another crazy statistic. Is up in here is the 6 eye muscles. The six muscles moving each eye are the fastest, most precisely controlled muscles in your body, reaching up to 50 times faster than leg muscles. So each eye has 6 muscles, 6 muscles. They're highly innervated, and they're 50 times faster than your leg muscles, 50 times faster than your leg muscles. So that is telling you that the information that is going in your brain is very, very critical. Now, we talk about 100 hertz. What the heck does that mean? So your eyeballs move 30 to 100 times each second, very, very microscopically. Okay, so what happens now, let's say that you're moving at 30 times per second, but your eyes are moving very large. It's not microscopic, they're very large. So when your eyes move very large, what happens is when you're looking at the red dot, you cannot focus on the red dot because your eyes are moving too much. All the things I just mentioned, concussions, mold, heavy metals, poor hormone status, poor EPA, DHA, all these things will contribute to your eyes not moving smoothly and symmetrically. So if your eyes are moving, but very broad, very wide, right? That's going to cause your eyes not to focus on the red dot. That's going to cause the green circle, the periphery, never to go away. And what does that indicate to you? That indicates to you that massive amounts of information are bombarding your brain, causing dysautonomia. Remember, we do not want to see that green circle. We don't want to be aware of that because it's non-threatening. But when your eyes don't move, the green circle is always there. That information is being bombarded in your brain. 50% of your entire brain is perceiving visual sensation, right? So I've helped lots and lots and lots of people with a variety of different conditions because we're looking at a functional medicine, a neurological functional approach that gets sick people well, right? God designed you to be well. You deserve to be well. If you're not well, you just have to figure out what's hindering your body's ability to get well. This is my website. You can go to my website right here, Dr. Hugh Wegworth right there. If you want some help, you simply click this button right here. Talk with Dr. Hugh and find out what's been missing. I do telemedicine. I help people all over the world with complex cases. So if you enjoyed this content and it's on YouTube, give me a thumbs up, share it. We need the message out there. And remember this, where there's help, there's hope. Take care.